Hello, inventors and curious minds. Did you know that behind every great success there are dozens of epic failures? Today we're going to dive into the fascinating world of inventions that seem brilliant on paper, but became true disasters in real life. Get ready to laugh, cry, and be amazed by these 13 incredible stories. Let's start with the Segway. In 2001, Dean Kamen promised to revolutionize urban transportation with this two-wheeled vehicle. The expectation was to sell 100,000 units in the first year, but they only sold 30,000 in 6 years. The problem? It was expensive, heavy, and people simply preferred to walk. Besides, several accidents involving the inventor himself didn't help the product's image. Now, speaking of transportation, how about the Concorde? The supersonic was the future of commercial aviation in the 70s. It flew at over 2,000 km/h, cutting travel time in half. But it cost a fortune to operate, was too noisy for many routes, and fuel consumption was astronomical. After some accidents and the oil crisis, the dream of commercial supersonic flight died in 2003. And what about Google Glass? In 2014, it seemed like everyone would wear smart glasses. The technology was impressive: augmented reality, cameras, internet, all in your glasses. But it cost $1,500, lasted only a few hours, and created a huge controversy about privacy. People felt uncomfortable being filmed without knowing. The project was quickly discontinued. Let's talk about New Coke. In 1985, Coca-Cola decided to change its century-old formula to compete with Pepsi. They did tests, research, everything indicated success. But when they launched it, it was a total disaster. Consumers protested, boycotted, and the company had to return to the original formula in just 79 days. The lesson: never mess with something people love. And what about Microsoft's Zune? Microsoft wanted to dethrone the iPod with its music player in 2006. It had interesting features like music sharing and a different interface. But it arrived late to the market, was heavy, ugly, and iTunes Store already dominated everything. It sold only 2 million units while iPod sold hundreds of millions. Now a really bizarre invention: smell-o-vision. In the 60s, someone had the brilliant idea of adding smells to movies. The cinema released different aromas synchronized with scenes. It seemed revolutionary. But smells mixed together stayed in the air too long, and many people had allergies. It was used in only one movie before being abandoned forever. And Sony's Betamax? Technically superior to VHS in video quality, it was launched in 1975 with great expectations. Sony was sure it would dominate the cassette tape market. But VHS was cheaper, recorded for longer, and had support from more movie studios. Result: Betamax lost the format war even though it was technically better. Speaking of technology, remember Windows Vista? Microsoft spent billions on development and promised to revolutionize personal computing in 2006. But it was slow, incompatible with many software programs, and full of annoying bugs. Users hated it so much that many went back to Windows XP. It took Windows 7 to save Microsoft's reputation. And what about the Facebook phone? Mark Zuckerberg dreamed of a smartphone totally integrated with the social network in 2013. The HTC first came with Facebook interface, special notifications, and total integration. But people wanted a phone, not a portable Facebook. It sold so poorly that it was removed from the market in just 1 month. Let's talk about a food invention: Crystal Pepsi. In 1992, Pepsi launched a transparent cola, promising purity and a cleaner taste. They spent millions on marketing with celebrities, but people associated transparent sodas with citrus flavors, not cola. The product confused consumers and was a resounding failure. And Laserdisc? In the 80s, it seemed like the future of home entertainment. Superior quality to VHS, digital audio, extra features. But the discs were enormous, expensive, and couldn't record. When DVD arrived in the 90s with similar quality on smaller and cheaper discs, Laserdisc quickly disappeared from the market. Second to last invention: Nintendo Virtual Boy. In 1995, Nintendo promised accessible virtual reality for everyone. It was portable, had exclusive games, and looked futuristic. But images were only in red and black, caused headaches, and was uncomfortable to use. It was discontinued in less than a year, selling only 770,000 units worldwide. Lastly, we have Ford's Edsel. In the 50s, Ford invested heavily in this car that would be the future of the automotive industry. They researched for years, created innovative designs, and made the biggest launch in history. But the car was ugly, expensive, and full of mechanical problems. It sold only 110,000 units in 3 years, causing enormous losses. So which of these failed inventions surprised you most? Some were really brilliant, but came at the wrong time or were poorly executed. This shows that innovation isn't just having a good idea, but also timing, execution, and luck. Share this video with your inventor friends and leave in the comments which modern invention you think will fail in the future.